next Monday. It's the Rescue High Surf season finale that will leave you breathless. Rescue High Surf season finale next Monday on Fox.
The senator's child has been kidnapped.
We got 5 missing girls. We're missing persons unit. Nobody is better at this than we are.
Captain Batista is missing. All hands on deck.
Nikki's running out of time.
She's one of ours. MPU will get her back.
Alert MPU tomorrow on Fox. The game is about to change. Don't miss the Edge of Your Seat season premiere of Alert Missing Persons Unit tomorrow on Fox.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Over the weekend, President Donald Trump took to social media demanding an apology from Governor Janet Mills over their ongoing dispute regarding transgender athletes. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Dagnall.
And I'm Beth Jones. On Saturday, the president made a post on the platform Truth Social calling for a, quote, full-throated apology from Governor Mills over what the president described as an unlawful challenge to the federal government. Governor Mills spoke with members of the media during an event in Bangor today, and when asked if she plans to issue an apology, she told reporters she does not communicate with public officials over social media.
My issue is about the rule of law, pure and simple. It's not about transgender sports. It's about who makes the laws and who enforces the laws. I read the Constitution. The Constitution says that the president, the chief executive, shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. It doesn't allow him to make laws out of whole cloth by tweet or Instagram post or press release or executive order. That's just fundamental law, and I stand for the rule of law and the separation of powers.
A Holden man convicted of multiple charges after hitting an 86-year-old man with his car in Brewer has been arrested for a second time after his conviction. According to the Holden Police Department, 53-year-old David McKenzie of Holden was previously arrested for aggravated assault while out on post-conviction bail. After a hearing, authorities determined McKenzie violated the terms of his bail. As a result, he was placed under house arrest and instructed to not contact a witness in his criminal case. Recently, Holden police received anonymous reports McKenzie was violating his house arrest conditions and having contact with said witness. According to Holden police, around 9:30 on Saturday, March 22nd, an officer observed McKenzie and the witness pull into McKenzie's residence. The officer allegedly made several attempts with his public address system and by knocking on McKenzie's door to get McKenzie to exit the residence, but he refused to do so. A warrant was later obtained. With assistance from Brewer and state police, entry was made into the residence where McKenzie was arrested without incident. The witness was also found hiding in the residence. McKenzie is now being held at the Penobscot County Jail without bail.
Well, the woman charged with murder in the death of her boyfriend in Etna last week had her initial court appearance delayed. 36-year-old Heidi Tasker, who you see on your screen right now, is accused of fatally stabbing 41-year-old Luke Norris at their residence on the Old County Road in Etna on Friday. Police officers found him dead inside when they responded to a 911 call from the residence. Tasker appeared in court this morning by video call. After conversations with the defense and the prosecution, the judge agreed to delay the proceeding for a week. Tasker will undergo a mental competency evaluation to see if she is able to understand the charge against her.
In other news, Maine General Medical Center says it's laying off about 100 employees next month. And as Anna Kuhn explains, the hospital is blaming a state funding fight that's causing temporary cuts to Maine Care reimbursements.
The state started limiting payments to providers on March 12th, and Maine General says it's been costing the hospital $600,000 every week.
They have taken a fairly dramatic step.
Maine General's CEO says the lack of reimbursement from the state is piling on to an already tough financial situation, and he's laying off 100 people, writing in a statement, quote, "The current crisis in Maine Care funding compounds an already tenuous financial footing for Maine General and other hospitals in the state." Lawmakers passed a state budget last week that fills a $118 million hole in the state's Medicaid program. But because Republicans didn't support it, hospitals won't get paid until late June.
Some of our members are in that situation now where the ability to just reach into another pocket and find a pot of money is gone.
And it's not just Maine General weighing cuts.
I talked to the folks at Penobscot Valley Hospital last week. They're seeing $26,000 a week cut, which for a 25-bed hospital, that is not something that can be sustained.
As hospitals struggle to stay afloat, some lawmakers say there is no specific plan to cover providers until they get paid in the summer.
I'm open to anything that would make sure that we keep these hospitals open and operating.
Republicans did not sign on to this budget plan and say Democrats own the problem that hospitals aren't getting paid on time. The party's planning to hold a press conference on the issue tomorrow.
Well, people gathered in Augusta today to testify for a bill they say would increase access to mental health care across the state. Our Callie Warren has that story.
Supporters of LD 653 made their voices heard at Maine's Capitol on Monday. It's a bill that would require Maine's Health and Human Services to apply for a federal waiver that would allow for Medicaid to pay for inpatient mental health care treatment at larger facilities.
I implore you to support LD 563. Maine citizens deserve access to the same comprehensive care that my son receives in New Hampshire.
Something that many states in the Northeast, including New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts, already have done.
It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't happen so much in other places. New Jersey hasn't had a mental illness tragedy since 2004.
Supporters say it could help prevent mental illness-related tragedies.
My brother Robert Card II took 18 innocent lives and traumatized an entire community. While not everyone with psychosis requires hospitalization, some, like my brother, who experienced psychosis with anosognosia, do, for their own safety and the safety of others.
And could keep those with serious mental illnesses out of incarceration while providing better care and treatment.
Well, if we can get this bill through, then obviously, to add ACT teams, to add behavioral health liaisons with police, to add transitional housing. I mean, it's costing the state so much more money to not do something than if they actually did something.
Currently, a federal waiver is in place for Maine DHHS to use MaineCare to cover substance use disorder-related stays in mental institutions. MaineCare personnel say they are planning to expand the renewal of that waiver to include mental health-related inpatient and transitional care, which they expect to likely take more than 2 years.
This waiver application will also meet the requirements of this proposed LD.
2 public hearings will be held in April to receive public comment on this current plan. In Augusta, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In observation of the Affordable Care Act turning 15 years old, Democratic leadership and policy advocates met virtually today to highlight what they say are ongoing threats to American health care. Representatives from Protect Our Care, Consumers for Affordable Care, and Maine Children's Alliance, along with Maine's Assistant House Leader, Lori Gramlich, spoke during the event. According to the speakers, congressional Republicans are attempting to, quote, rip away access to quality, affordable health coverage by taking tax credits away from working families.
There are a number of bills coming before the Health Coverage Insurance Financial Services Committee that aim to address some of this. I encourage you to contact your elected officials, both in the state of Maine and certainly at the national level, so that they can understand why this is a critically important initiative that we cannot do without.
Well, transitional housing is coming to the Belfast area. The Mid-Coast Maine Homeless Coalition is teaming up with the Belfast United Methodist Church to offer a transitional housing facility inside the church's building for up to 4 families. The proposal has received support from the Belfast City Council and Planning Board. At last week's Town Council meeting, amendments to several city ordinances were approved in order to proceed with the project. Belfast City Manager Eric Sanders says there's a big need for families who have lost housing, and the space being offered at the church will not be a homeless shelter, but rather smaller apartment-type spaces on the bottom floor of the building with bathrooms and kitchens. Families will have to apply and be approved by the Mid-Coast Maine Homeless Coalition before they can use the property. And we certainly got a fair amount of snow late this afternoon into the evening, which was a little or maybe we just underestimated it. But
it feels like a distant memory that it was 50 degrees last week.
Yeah, now it just looks like we're back to winter wonderland.
Yeah,
which is fine. That may be welcome for some people, but I think many of us were, a little over it.
Ready for it to be spring.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you, Beth. Our first weather tonight is brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. All right, so we saw the rain and snow coming to an end. Most of it was snow out there. We saw widespread 1 to 5 inches out there. The heavier amounts were in the eastern portion of the state. Remember, this radar is delayed a few hours, so yes, the snow is done for us as of right now, even though it doesn't look like it on the radar. Still have a chance for a wintry mix out there for tonight, right around the hours of midnight to 1 a.m. That will continue to dissipate. As we go into tomorrow, we got another chance for rain and snow showers. Most of it will be rain here in Bangor going to tomorrow afternoon, as highs look to be in the mid-40s. So out there for tonight, temperatures going to be hanging out right around the mid-20s. We'll see that right around midnight, and it still could be like that going into the early morning hours as well. Beth?
Chase, thank you.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, there has been a proposal for new laws to ensure safe disposal of single-use propane containers.
And residents at the Cedar Falls Mobile Home Park here in Bangor want to grow even more to help with the housing problem in the area. We'll have those stories and more local news when we come back.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
During Chevy Truck Month, well-qualified buyers get 2.9% APR for 72 months when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
AMHG Works, LLC, American-made home goods, located at the Rennie's Plaza in Bangor. Come check us out. We're open 7 days a week, featuring artisans, crafters, and manufacturers from across the United States, where everything is meticulously designed with care and pride. We also have a wide selection of pet accessories and treats. Let us be your new favorite store. We look forward to seeing you.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brooklyn.
A Bangor man is pushing for legislation regulating the safe disposal of single-use propane containers. Alex Cole says there's no recommended way to safely dispose of non-refillable propane containers like those typically used for space heaters. He worked with several Maine legislators on LD 1035, which will look into safe disposal methods and could potentially impose a ban on single-use, non-recyclable containers.
Eventually, I hope to see only recyclable tanks, refillable rated tanks being used, and I think that's the best and safest method forward. But ultimately, I think we need to start somewhere, and somewhere involves having a place to dispose of these tanks without worried about it exploding.
A public hearing on the bill was held today by the Environment and Natural Resources Committee. For more information on the bill, visit this story on our website, foxbangor.com.
Last month, residents of the Cedar Falls Mobile Home Park in Bangor closed a deal officially obtaining ownership of the park. Now the residents cooperative is looking towards expanding even further to address the area's housing crisis. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
After months of fundraising efforts, a team of residents who have called the Cedar Falls Mobile Home Park in Bangor home for years have officially taken over ownership of the park.
I'm feeling great. It's become a community. Everybody talks to one another. It's really great.
When the park went up for sale last year, the more than 100 households became fearful new ownership could lead to potential evictions or hikes in rent.
We could have lost our homes. From what I heard, that was the plan from the corporation that wanted to buy. They were going to evict all of us.
No one should be afraid that a surprise rent increase will break the bank.
A team of residents led by longtime resident Ronnie Pinkham formed a cooperative and are now the second mobile home community to achieve resident ownership under a new state law.
When they wake up in the morning, they can step out on the grass and say, whoa, I own it. I'm safe. I don't have to worry about somebody kicking me out.
Now with the ability to expand, they are partnering with Bangor Housing to provide up to 80 additional lots.
When you have a city like Bangor that's in a housing crisis, any supply is a huge piece to fixing that.
By 2035, the executive director of Bangor Housing says Maine is expected to be short around 80,000 homes. Myatt says they hope to fill 28 vacant lots in the mobile home park by this summer.
Anything that we can build is going to help with that supply issue, which ultimately, if we can do enough, is going to help with the affordability.
In Bangor, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, we'll be taking a look at your national headlines.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
Who's Alex? Hey, pal. You know who's,
See you, Dad. Happy birthday, Alex. That's so sweet. You remembered.
It's all about connecting with seamless connectivity from Spectrum.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Hi there, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll have the latest from court, where a woman accused of stabbing her boyfriend to death in Etna on Friday made her first appearance. Plus, the latest from a mobile home park, which made headlines when its residents band together to buy the park. These stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
I want what's mine. I want to be the cartel doctor. I've changed.
The Cleaning Lady returns Tuesday, March 25th on Fox.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
President Trump says he has secured a $5.8 billion investment from Hyundai in a Louisiana steel manufacturing plant as part of a 4-year, $21 billion deal. Fox's Jackie Heinrich has details.
Get ready. This investment is a clear demonstration that tariffs very strongly work.
President Trump announcing a $5.8 billion investment from Hyundai for a new Louisiana steel plant expected to produce 1,400 jobs and millions of metric tons of raw material.
This will be Hyundai's first ever steel mill in the United States. As a result, they'll not have to pay any tariffs. You know, there are no tariffs if you make your product in America.
But it was this remark about reciprocal tariffs on all countries coming April 2nd that rallied the stock market.
Well, I may give a lot of countries breaks, but it's reciprocal, but we might be even nicer than that. In other words, they've charged us so much that I'm embarrassed to charge them what they've charged us.
Investors Monday buoyed by hope the president's tariff stance is softening. But in the same breath, he also touted new pressure on Venezuela and its biggest oil customers.
If they buy their oil from Venezuela, they have to pay a 25% tariff to do business with the United States. That's on top of existing tariffs, yes.
In his cabinet meeting, the president said reciprocal tariffs have already driven trade negotiations and new business.
We have probably identified maybe $4 trillion worth of companies moving back or going to move back.
Plus, a minerals deal with Ukraine near completion.
They'll sign it shortly.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio sending a signal in his update on talks with Russia and Ukraine to implement the partial ceasefire.
There is no military solution to this war. It has to enter negotiation.
General Jack Keane translating.
I know from talking to our own security senior officials that they know full well Zelensky has already agreed to a ceasefire, but Putin, I think the jury is still out. That's in the mind of some of our senior officials who are dealing with the Russians.
In an interview with Time magazine, President Zelensky raised concern over some of the concessions President Trump has agreed to, including taking NATO membership off the table for Ukraine and potentially inviting Russia back into the G7. But overall, he expressed confidence in the Trump team's ability. At the White House, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is remaining defiant against his Democratic colleagues amid calls to step aside as leader over his decision to support the Republican bill to fund the government. Some Democrats are seeking younger and tougher leadership. Fox's Aisha Hosni shows us from Capitol Hill.
Tonight, Democrats are unloading on Republicans.
It's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head.
And each other.
So I say it's time to drop the excuses and grow a spine.
Today, far-left influencer Kat Abu-Ghazala announced she will primary longtime liberal Illinois Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. Progressives are loudly trying to fill a void, but it's unclear if the party will follow. A recent Gallup poll shows 45% of Democrats want their party to become more moderate, while just 29% want it to become more liberal. But that poll was released before Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer caved to Republicans on a government funding bill. And before Democrats got an earful from angry voters at town halls.
I'm happy to answer a question if you have one.
One House Democrat tells Axios a colleague called after an event crying and said they hate us. Who they don't hate.
Are we ready to win?
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, embraced by thousands at rallies all over the country.
I don't want to live like this anymore, and we deserve better than this.
And that could set up a potential run in 2028, or the biggest primary challenge in 26.
All I could say is there's real anger, and there would be a lot of support for her if she decided to do it.
As some call Chuck Schumer's leadership to question.
Are you making the same mistake that President Biden did?
No, absolutely not.
And Schumer will have to explain why to his colleagues face to face now, as they have all just returned to Capitol Hill. On Capitol Hill, I'm Aisha Hosni, Fox News.
Well, the Department of Health and Human Services rolled out a new initiative aimed at protecting our nation's youngest. Fox's CB Cotton has more.
The nation's health secretary, Robert Kennedy Jr., launching a new task force aimed at improving the safety of baby formula. The initiative, dubbed Operation Stork Speed, calls for a review of the levels of heavy metals and other contaminants in infant formula. The agency will also start a nutrient review process and encourage companies to work closely with the FDA.
We're going to review the formulations for the first time since 1998. And really make sure, do comprehensive tests to make sure this is the healthiest product that our kids can have.
A recent Consumer Reports investigation found potentially harmful levels of arsenic and lead in some baby formulas, but the study showed most did not have high levels of contaminants. The review comes after a formula shortage in 2022 during the global supply chain crisis. The problem exacerbated by the shutdown of an Abbott formula plant in Michigan over sanitary violations. RFK is pushing for the U.S. to ramp up its domestic production of formula, even going so far as to call it a national security issue.
really 4 companies that are producing almost all of our baby formulas. And the only way that we're going to bring those prices down is to bring more competition in the United States.
Some health officials, though, have questioned the effectiveness of RFK's strategy, particularly following significant budget and staffing cuts at HHS. In a meeting with formula makers last week, RFK also took issue with their nutritional content, specifically calling out the use of seed oils and added sugar. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, our Jody Hersey went to China to highlight the work being done at #LeatherWorks.
And in sports, Maine Hockey has their opponent and location for the NCAA tournament. We'll be right back.
Captain Batista is missing.
She's running out of time.
Hit it. She's one of ours. MPU will get her back.
Alert MPU premieres March 25th on Fox.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Any job goes more smoothly and successfully with the right people on your team, like the people at Hammond Lumber Company, where you'll find high-quality building materials from industry-leading suppliers and get expert advice and professional services. Hammond offers timely delivery with their own fleet of trucks, with boom and forklift trucks available. For your next project, get the materials and services you need to succeed from Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
The FlexSteel Spring Semi-Annual Sale is in full bloom, with fresh savings on fabric and leather reclining and stationary furniture, tables, beds, desks, dressers, and more. Furniture that comforts, furniture that endures, all with a blue steel spring at its core. FlexSteel, designed for living, built for life. Save big today during FlexSteel Spring Semi-Annual Sale.
Dorsey Furniture, open 7 days a week, Route 1A Holden.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
I joined the Maine Army National Guard because I wanted to help the people of my community, but I never knew how far that would take me. I'm here from my hometown and I'm furthering my education. My part-time service is helping me do both. Join the team that can help you take charge of your future, just like I did with the Maine Army National Guard. Go to nationalguard.com/ME to learn more.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
We're just a little over a week out from what the president is calling Liberation Day for the U.S. The day reciprocal tariffs will be imposed on not just our adversaries, but key trading partners. The White House has announced it will target what they call the, quote, Dirty 15, the 15% of nations with the biggest trade imbalances. But as Fox's Rebecca Castor reports, President Trump is not holding back on targeting Venezuela.
Tremendous amounts of money will be soon coming in from tariffs.
At the White House, the Trump administration is staring down a big deadline, April 2nd, the day the U.S. will impose reciprocal tariffs on countries with unfair trade practices.
This is a program that's going to be, I think, unbelievable for our country, and I think it's treating other countries very fairly.
But the looming tariffs may not be as far-reaching as once thought. The White House is now dialed in on what it's calling the Dirty 15, the 15% of nations with the worst trade imbalances. According to the U.S. Trade Representative, China, the European Union, and Mexico top the list.
It's win-win. Either the
trade friction that these other countries have come down and we get fair trade. And if they don't follow President Trump's lead, then he will raise the tariff wall.
But President Trump also seems to be looking for a way to punish Venezuela for not cracking down on illegal immigration. Since the U.S. doesn't do a lot of trade with the country, Trump plans to impose a secondary tariff, also taking effect April 2nd, announcing on Truth Social, any country that purchases oil and/or gas from Venezuela will be forced to pay a tariff of 25% to the United States on any trade they do with our country. This secondary tariff is really the first of its kind. China and India are the two biggest buyers of Venezuelan oil and will be impacted the most. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
A new round of high-stakes peace talks are now underway in Saudi Arabia, with President Trump pushing Russia to stop attacking Ukraine. Fox's senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more from London.
Russian and American negotiators meeting for a new round of peace talks in Saudi Arabia on Monday, aimed at ending the war in Ukraine. Both sides are now hammering out details on the technical level, with the White House still insisting Russian President Vladimir Putin is looking for a deal to stop the fighting.
I just don't see that he wants to take all of Europe. This is a much different situation than it was in World War II. In World War II, there was no NATO.
Monday's talks are focusing on a naval ceasefire in the Black Sea, but the Ukrainians are insisting Russia does not want to end the fighting, pointing to continued attacks on the country's energy infrastructure after Putin told President Trump they would stop.
Without pressure on Russia, Moscow will continue to show contempt for real diplomacy and keep destroying lives.
Over the weekend, American officials met with the Ukrainian negotiating team, while EU leaders are discussing ways to speed up the possible deployment of a European peacekeeping force in Ukraine.
If they stop killing people in Ukraine, the war will stop, because the war is not on Russia's soil.
Meanwhile, President Trump also says he's considering a wide range of financial punishments, including sanctions, if Russia doesn't agree to stop the fighting.
I think the president's got options here to apply some real pressure to Russia to get them to comply to an unconditional ceasefire.
President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff says after the Black Sea ceasefire, the goal will be to stop the fighting on the ground. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Israeli military forces press on with new airstrikes and ground operations across the Gaza Strip, citing stalled attempts to negotiate with Hamas to release remaining hostages and threatening to escalate the attacks. But the new blasts are causing the death toll in Gaza to keep rising, jeopardizing the hostages' fate. Fox's Sue Guzman reports on the latest.
Explosions from Israeli airstrikes keep lighting up the sky across the Gaza Strip. IDF says it slammed Nasser Hospital Sunday night, southern Gaza's largest medical facility. Officials were targeting a Hamas member operating there, who the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry later confirmed was killed. At least one other person died and several others were also wounded.
What we know is that the surgery building was bombed, and as you can see, there are injuries among the crew.
The strike comes as doctors in Gaza have been overwhelmed with an uptick in patients since Israel began relaunching attacks last week. On Sunday, officials said more than 50,000 Palestinians have been killed since the start of the war. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordering the attacks to resume after saying talks to secure the release of the remaining hostages showed no signs of progress. It's estimated Hamas is holding 59 hostages. 24 of them are believed to still be alive. But Netanyahu's call to launch new strikes is triggering growing unrest in Israel. Over the weekend, thousands gathered in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem to protest the government's handling of the hostage talks.
I watch my country just continuing a non-ending war.
Many calling for peace, saying fighting won't bring the hostages home.
What I would want is a government who would choose to go towards a peace agreement.
While Israel has threatened to bolster the attacks, Hamas is calling for a permanent ceasefire and a full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza for the release of the remaining hostages. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
All right, well, coming up, we have our full 5-day forecast. Keep it right here.
Lots of snow out there for today. Lots of us saw widespread 1 to 5 inches of snowfall, but the pattern isn't done just yet. Still going to stay active with chances for rain and snow going into tomorrow. When will it end? I will have those answers coming right up.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily, we offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust, we get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Having a hard time breathing.
Try putting your arms above your head.
Up, Robin. The Masked Singer, Lucky Season 13, all new Wednesdays on Fox.
Thank you very much. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Blazin' Trails, located in Lincoln. Blazin' Trails provides outstanding products and customer service to Penobscot County. Blazin' Trails, they're blazing the trails to holistic medicine. All right, out there for highs today. We reached those mid-30s here in Bangor, same for Bar Harbor, and then we saw lots of upper 30s near that southwestern coastline. As you go a little bit further north, temperatures were significantly cooler, right around the low to mid-30s. Got into those 20s once you reached into Millinocket, mid-20s for Greenville. Presque Isle was the only one up north out of many areas that was right around 30 degrees today, with everyone else right around those mid to upper 20s. So for tonight, we will be seeing those mid-20s here in Bangor. We can see that existing into the early morning hours. Temperatures by the coast, so a little bit warmer, right around those low to mid-30s. That will exist down to Portland as well, maybe in the upper 20s. I think we're going to be a little bit warmer down there. Everywhere else, we're going to see those temperatures hanging out right around the mid to upper 20s as well. Get into tomorrow, we're going to be back above freezing, so yes, we will melt a little bit of that snow that we saw out there for today. Looking at 45 here in Bangor, 42 for Deer Isle, Machias as well, 46 for Portland, and temperatures hanging out a little bit cooler in those mid to upper 30s as you head farther north. And as we see that average high this time of year, right around 43 degrees, we're going to be a little bit above that for these next few days, looking at 47 for Thursday, but right on average for Friday, that high at 43. Then cooling off though Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday. Sunday into Monday, we'll see temperatures a little bit below average, right around those mid to upper 30s then. So we do have some cooler weather making its way in. So winter weather advisory still in place till around 2 a.m. for tonight. I do believe that some of these areas in the southwestern portion of the state will see those expire a little bit earlier, but still got some snow in the eastern portion of the state. So yes, that will exist till about 2 a.m. for tonight. And as we see, we still have a chance for a little bit of wintry mix out there. Right around midnight to 1 a.m. we can see a little bit of rain, ice, sleet, snow, all trickling in through Bangor. It's not going to be heavy like we saw that snow out there for today, but still can have an impact on the roads out there. Same thing for tomorrow, right around 10 a.m. Another chance for ice, sleet, snow, all that good stuff right around, 10 a.m. to 11. As we continue on, get into the afternoon, we're going to warm up, seeing mostly rain here in Bangor, but with the temperatures right around those mid to upper 30s up north, you have a better chance of, again, seeing that wintry mix or just straight up snow as we get into tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, clearing out once again. And then we're going to do it all over again for your Wednesday afternoon, another chance for rain and snow. So as you can see, we're dealing with a very active pattern that should let up as we get into Thursday with some mostly sunny skies out there. Lows tonight in the mid-20s, though. Wintry mix earlier on, and we will have some patchy fog out there, so be careful on the roads if you're driving from the hours after midnight. Highs in the mid-40s for tomorrow. Rain and snow showers out there, but winds will be light from the southwest, right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at your extended forecast, we got those rain chances for tomorrow existing into Wednesday as well, but drying out Thursday. Mostly sunny skies with highs near 47, but cooling off Friday and the Saturday. Saturday we'll see partly cloudy skies and that high near 40 degrees. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much.
Sports is next with Tyler Cruz.
Injured in an accident? Are the bills and pain keeping you up at night? Phone lines are open right now to take your call. The law offices of Joe Bornstein is working hard to get their clients all the money they deserve. Find out what your case may really be worth.
So I called Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein, and I got way more.
They fight hard for injured Mainers.
Call Joe at 207-CALL-JOE.
Tell the insurance company you mean business.
You live in vacation land, right? Then get out and vacation, why don't you? And do it in style by renting an RV from Maine Campo Rentals. Fully furnished, fully insured, ready to roll out and explore. Or maybe you have relatives visiting you. Save your marriage, save the hotel expense, put them up in an affordable RV from Maine Campo Rentals. We'll deliver to Acadia and local campgrounds too. Call or visit online at MaineCampoRentals.com. Put away that cell phone and discover vacation land with Maine Campo Rentals in Brewer.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage, doing business the right way every day.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
UFL kickoff weekend is here. San Antonio locks horns with Arlington. Saturday 4 Eastern on Fox.
It is NCAA Tournament Week. Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. In just a matter of days, Maine hockey is back on the ice for the first round of the NCAA Tournament. And on Sunday, the Black Bears finding out the who, whats, whens, and wheres of the first round. After winning the Hockey East Championship this past weekend, the Black Bears are the number 3 overall seed in the NCAA Tournament, and Maine will play the 14th overall seed, the Penn State Nittany Lions. The Black Bears are heading to Allentown, Pennsylvania for the first and hopefully second round, and they say taking care of business at the Garden is a huge boost as they focus on chasing a national championship.
You know, playing at the Garden, playing in front of 17,000 fans, you know, that's a big game, big atmosphere, and it gives us a lot of experience, a lot of momentum, like you said. Just being in those positions, being in those high-pressure moments. You know, when everything's on the line, you got to be able to stay calm, composed. So those games really helped a lot with that.
Maine returned to Orono on Saturday to a swarm of fans at the Alphon greeting them, and an even bigger swarm took over Boston this past weekend. It's going to be a different feel in Allentown, though, where Penn State will have a home ice advantage there, but Maine is ready for the challenge, and they're still expecting some blue in the crowd down in PA as well.
It's definitely going to be a good test. You know, obviously, it's near Penn State, and I'm sure both fan bases will be nuts, and it's probably the 2 craziest fan bases. So Juice will definitely be in the building, that's for sure.
I still think that Maine fans have the best fans in college hockey, and I've already talked to a lot of them, and it sounds like people want to travel. So I have no doubt that there's going to be some blue Maine fans in the stands. So they'll get out and they'll support us.
That game is at 8:30 on Friday night. Wishing them luck. Staying with the Black Bears and over to the basketball court now for the 16 teams that aren't in the Sweet 16 or any of the postseason tournaments. It's the start of transfer portal season in the college hoops world. Two major players in this year's historic run for Maine men's basketball are looking to finish their eligibility elsewhere. Point guard Jaden Clayton and guard AJ Lopez have both reportedly entered the transfer portal according to verbal commits. Clayton has been the starting point for a few seasons and was instrumental in the turnaround of the program. Lopez earned second-team All-America East this season and was the team's leading scorer with 14.8 points per game. It was a great season for the Black Bears. They fell to Bryant in the America East Championship earlier this month. Let's stay with some basketball now. The first weekend of the NCAA tournament is in the books, and like I said, we are on to the Sweet 16. Cooper Flagg and the Duke Blue Devils showing that they earned that top seed rolling through the opening rounds. The top seeded Blue Devils surviving and advancing, but more like thriving. Duke dismantled Mount St. Mary's in round one before taking down 9-seeded Baylor 89-66 on Sunday to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. Cooper had a huge game in Duke's win over the Bears with 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, and he and the Blue Devils are now just 2 wins away from heading to the Final Four. Here's what Maine's favorite Blue Devil had to say about his success on Sunday.
Just getting downhill, getting in the paint is when good things happen all around. So whether it's kicking out for threes or, like you said, getting fouled. So that's definitely something that we emphasize going into every game, just getting in the paint, trying to make plays.
Coop and the Blue Devils are off until Friday night when they play Arizona at 9:30 in the Sweet 16 winner to the Elite Eight. Let's keep it here for a second. It was a pretty uneventful weekend for March Madness. Not really a lot of madness, save for the ending of the Maryland-Colorado State game on Sunday with Derek Queen beating the buzzer after Colorado State took the lead with seconds left. It's been a pretty tame tournament thus far. The one major upset being second-seeded St. John's falling to Arkansas in another classic with Rick Pitino and John Calipari at the helm. There are no mid-major teams in the Sweet 16 and only one double-digit seed remaining in Arkansas. All 4 top seeds and 3 of the 4 2 seeds are still alive as well. So hopefully no one's bracket too busted just yet. Let's go to the baseball diamond now. The Boston Red Sox open the season this week, and thankfully they won't be in New England for it. They'll be down in Texas, and at least one member of the new Big Three will make the opening day roster. Christian Campbell will likely be the Red Sox opening day second baseman, according to several reports out of spring training on Monday. The utility infielder Campbell really came onto the scene a year ago in the minors. He was named Minor League Baseball's Hitter of the Year and Minor League Baseball's Breakout Player of the Year. Campbell is Boston's second highest ranked prospect, and he is the 7th overall prospect in Major League Baseball. Certainly excited to see what he can do at the big league level, and it won't be too long until we see the other 2 of the Big Three as well. On that note, happy high school spring sports opening day. I know it doesn't look like it outside, but the season officially kicking off on Monday for baseball and softball. Pitchers and catchers can report, start throwing, get the arms loose. Lacrosse goalies are good to go. All official practices and tryouts start next week, and before you know it, it will be time for a world-famous ballpark brownie Sunday out in the sunlight at Mansfield Stadium. Certainly looking forward to that. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Hi, I'm Dave from PDQ Door. We pride ourselves on our honesty and integrity. We'll always give you the best garage door repairs at a real price. Had your doors installed by another company? That's okay. Our experienced team is available to service all brands and models. Visit us at pdqdoor.com.
Your local financial partner has a new name, the County Federal Credit Union. And we're inspired by the people we serve, the big dreamers and smart planners, the risk takers and trailblazers. As a lifelong partner offering powerful tools and personal service, we were built for our members. Start a financial relationship that's driven by community and inspired by you. Visit countyfcu.org.
Tired of your internet service constantly letting you down? Those other providers may promise the world with their flashy advertisements, but are you truly having a good customer experience? Fear not, because there's a new player in town. Introducing GoNet Speed. No more endless hold times or automated responses. We're here to listen, support, and provide you with the exceptional service you deserve. Our fast, reliable fiber internet, it's mind-blowing. Let us show you what true internet satisfaction feels like.
AMHG Works LLC, American-made home goods, located at the Rennie's Plaza in Bangor. Come check us out. We're open 7 days a week, featuring artisans, crafters, and manufacturers from across the United States, where everything is meticulously designed with care and pride. We also have a wide selection of pet accessories and treats. Let us be your new favorite store. We look forward to seeing you.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
There's no reason to be overwhelmed when we can help you through it.
we're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
There's a lot riding on your garage door. There's never a good time to get stuck in your garage. Hi, I'm Dave from PDQ Door. For emergency service and garage door maintenance, PDQ Door is here to help. Online at pdqdoor.com, where we sell the best and service the rest.
Here's the tale of the farmer man, searching for love.
Farmer Wants a Wife, all new Thursdays on Fox.
States are trying to attract major production companies to film in their region. Fox Business correspondent Max Gordon is in Hollywood with what other states are doing to take business away from California.
It has been a tough time for Hollywood between strikes and COVID and most recently wildfires that have upended life in parts of LA. The industry here has taken blow after blow. According to Film LA, there was a slight uptick in shoot days during the fourth quarter of last year from the year before, but 2024 was still the second least productive year observed, second only to 2020, which was disrupted by the pandemic. Last fall, Governor Gavin Newsom announced a plan to get productions back to Hollywood, proposing an expansion of the California Film and Television Tax Credit Program, bumping up incentives from a $330 million annual allocation to $750 million. But the Golden State has plenty of competition. New York is proposing an increase of its film incentive program up to $800 million a year with a 40% tax credit. Texas is looking to raise their incentives up to $450 million and a 22.5% tax credit. And Georgia, a hotbed for many feature films, thanks to having no annual cap and a 30% tax credit. And studio execs are looking globally. When asked in a survey of their top shooting spots, the first 5 were foreign. Toronto at number 1, followed by the UK, Vancouver, Central Europe, and Australia. California came in at number 6. Meanwhile, we've got the premiere of The Last of Us Season 2 being set up right behind us. The filming location for that series, British Columbia. In Hollywood, California, Max Gordon, Fox Business.
Giving to others can help make you happier. Fox's Ted Linder takes a closer look at how you can take advantage of this mood-boosting tip through spring cleaning.
Spring is officially here, and many people will be keeping with the annual tradition of ridding their homes of dust and clutter. But while tidying up can be tedious, spring cleaning might seem more appealing if you can unlock its mood-boosting secrets. As people scrub their homes and sort through junk drawers and coat closets, it's not uncommon for many to find furniture and clothing items they no longer need. But instead of throwing out unwanted goods, try donating them to your neighbors, local shelters, or charities. That's because researchers say giving is proven to help make you happier.
Around the world, we find that giving makes us 4 times happier than if we doubled our income.
In the wake of this month's recent International Day of Happiness, researchers, a part of the World Happiness Report, also examined special topics, including the impacts of caring and sharing.
The World Happiness Report looked at 3 different kinds of benevolence, charitable giving, volunteering, and also helping strangers. And it found, not surprisingly to scholars of philanthropy, that giving actually was associated with more happiness. People who gave in various ways felt happier.
But if all you accumulate during your spring cleaning ventures is dust bunnies and no donatable items, Researchers say you can still raise your happiness this season by giving in other ways.
We might give somebody a ride, or we might check in on them and see how they're doing. All of those things count. Little acts of kindness mean something, not just for the person you're helping, but also for you.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Well, Americans are frequently being shown the tipping screen after nearly every transaction, and some are getting a little fed up. A new survey conducted by Wallet Hub polled 200 people and found 9 in 10 Americans think tipping culture has gotten out of control. The survey found about half of Americans say they left tips because of social pressure instead of receiving good service. The survey adds about 3 in 5 Americans think businesses are replacing employee salaries with customer tips, with 40% of respondents saying tipping should be replaced by an employee rating system to determine staff pay.
Google reveals the reason some users have been unable to see their previously visited places on its popular Maps app. A report by Verge says Google confirmed it experienced a technical issue briefly that caused the deletion of timeline data for some Google Map users. According to the report, the company says only users who had backups turned on can recover the data. Some users claim that even with backups on, they were unable to restore all of their previously visited places.
Well, despite the seeming resurgence of winter, spring is technically upon us, and as we venture outdoors, Maine tick experts are reminding the public that this is one of the times of year when we could see a spike in tick activity. They say that even though we did see prolonged cold temperatures this winter, the widespread and robust layer of snow that was on the ground for much of winter may have helped disease-carrying deer ticks survive. And while there is no one perfect solution to minimize tick encounters, there are a number of things you can do around your home for starters.
Landscaping in a way that's going to minimize habitat. Ticks, the deer tick in particular, dries out quite easily. So areas that get a lot of sunlight, have relatively little to low vegetation, leaf litters cleaned up, those types of areas tend not to see a lot of tick activity.
Well, Dill also is always stressing that people use personal protection measures like keeping skin covered with long sleeves and long pants, using repellents, and even using permethrin to treat clothing, as well as thorough tick checks. These are all ways to protect yourself.
A Maine veteran has found a new calling, and as Jody Hersey tells us, this new mission runs in the family.
Travis Hill served in both the Maine Air National Guard and Army National Guard, but these days his calling is leather.
But most people in Maine, they have a history with leather. It was, there were tanneries throughout the whole state, so from grandparents to parents, all being involved in leather.
Hill's own family worked in the industry.
My grandparents both worked at Farmington Shoe, and my grandmother worked there for, I believe, decades. It was years and years. And on the weekends, they actually had a small shoe shop that they created in their home garage. And they were a huge square dancing couple. And so what they would do is produce like fancy shoes, dancing shoes, square dancing shoes for their family, friends, and themselves.
Travis is the owner of #Leatherworks, which he operates out of his home in China, Maine. Cutting and stitching by machine or by hand before his products are shipped to customers.
Some people like the added effect of hand stitching. Some people don't care, either way. But I just know for my own well-being when I send a bag. I've never had a bag returned. I've never had one in 7 years fall apart. And so I know that I'm doing something right.
His bags, totes, checkbook covers, and other items are all available online or at area craft fairs. He just wishes his grandparents were still around to see his work.
It's such an old art, and I wish that I could have seen them working in their shop, with the tools that they did. And especially knowing that it was a hobby, kind of like mine started off as a hobby. I just think it's fantastic. It really just, ties the whole family together.
In China, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And I did peek at the website, and there are some really, really nice items there. So certainly worth a look, and it's always just wonderful to watch a craftsman work, something I know absolutely nothing about, leather making.
Yeah, it's beautiful work.
Yeah, for sure. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Take care and have a great night.
We'll see you later.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
You know that look. She's concerned about you. She can tell that you're depressed. Your intimate sex life isn't what it once.
This is ABC7 News at 11.
Over the weekend, President Donald Trump took to social